All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Redskins. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. Ends up taking a first-quarter lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a third down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On the crossing route, complete. That's Gardner. A huge play there for Washington. 49 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Now Tucker to add the PAT. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 62 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that, he said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. As his guys are in for 6. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here the 32, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll buy some time right. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Lucky 56.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give the tackle there to Danielle Hunter. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Out of the gun now on third down. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And out of bounds right around the 20. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up fourth down. And he is the NFC reigning offensive player of the week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab it.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown-to-interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable. For the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
319, 258.
Rodgers to throw on second down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now it's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 37. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A very solid gain of 27. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll set up to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And this Redskins offense continues to pour it on. Tucker now for the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
319.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ray. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
Let's go, come on.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find...
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
So out now come the Redskins. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. Now back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And this Redskins offense is running away with this one. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Tucker with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They start the drive with Cook, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
319.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Ray. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Rodgers now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here.
319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Redskins touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. Now, boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Blue 58.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. 12 more yards there and another first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year, and it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
319. 319.
Rodgers now on first down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
319.
On 2nd down, Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Blue 58.
On play action, now Rodgers. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Over!
They'll set up a throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
His throw incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And McManus able to put it through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he fires one that's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Here's Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ray. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
319!
On first down, Rodgers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's caught inside the 35. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
No, check. Patriot! Patriot! Hey, boys, got four down. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a time. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can right foot in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
319! 319!
To throw on second down, Rodgers. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. He got 29 yards that time.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Blue 90. Go. 49, check 49. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He sets to fire deep. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They run it again with Cook. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Handoff comes to Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
319.
On play action, Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Redskins on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Everyone's got 4.
Back to throw here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Here we go with McCaffrey. Oh, spinning away. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
It's a result-oriented business, and the result here is a first down. But my goodness, that has taken a huge chance on fourth down, especially that deep in your own territory. But they made it pay off.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And this Redskins offense continues to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Again, it's Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Vikings on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. So a risky move that does not pay off. And, Charles, you take it from the defensive perspective. They had to be a little offended there that they even tried to go for it back inside their own 20.
Highly offended. And they took the ball away and gave it to their offense in a great situation. But when you look at this thing in total, when you start taking chances like that, you know what that means? You have to take more chances later, right? When you don't convert, that just means you got to double down on it. So we can see this thing pile up as we go on. Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Rodgers now to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
319. 319
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Wide open receiver, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
319.
They'll run with Cook. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. And this is going to be covered up by the Redskins. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit! Detroit!
They go play action here on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Erickson. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. And even 40 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They come up in an offset eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
McCaffrey. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but looked better on that play. The offense stays out there.
Detroit!
A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Ronald Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And this Redskins offense is running away with this one.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he's to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's at least...
She's on, like, the 5th tune at this point.
she left Scales way behind, but he's just saying something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Left side caught by Diggs. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Diggs has it. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one good for 14 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rodgers again now. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And again, it's Rodgers. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And, yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point from McManus is good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play.
It's caught inside the 25. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
That one looks like he'll throw here. That's complete right around the 8th. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal.
And got his man complete. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A big play there for Minnesota. 56 yards. One final try now for Rodgers. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Redskins,
you